Hello everyone, this is Joanna the Median. Thank you so much for coming back. And for those of you who are new, thank you so much for joining, and I hope you like what you see. This is going to be your June forecast. I hate the word forecast because I don't predict per se. Your June reading, intuitive reading, let's put it that way. An exciting month. I feel there's a lot of changes we're all going through, and I've been seeing that from you as well. Bear in mind, these are general readings, which means they will not connect with everyone. If it did, I don't think that's even possible. They do, interestingly, connect with a lot of you. Pieces may connect with you, some pieces may not. It may not connect with you one day and totally connect with you a day later or a week later. So do listen to this whenever you listen first and then at the end of the month, because they do make much more sense. Also, because these are general, listen to it to the other signs, your moon sign and your rising sign, as well as sun sign, because they will offer you a lot more information oftentimes. And of course, these are general, like I mentioned, so it's impossible for me to cover everybody. And if you would like a private session, that information is down below for you. I decided to do Uranus readings, so I will be doing those within the next couple of weeks. I will let you know when they are done, and I will focus on the entire 7 years of what we can expect for each sign, and that's how my guides are asking me to present this. So it'll be a big picture. So stay tuned. I will be announcing when that will be ready. And I think that's all I have. Have yourself a wonderful month of June. For those of you who have birthdays in June, happy birthday. And without further ado, let's move on with individual signs. I'll see you in a bit. Hello, beautiful Geminis. This is going to be a reading for the month of June 2018. I do have to say that with your reading, I was feeling a little bit perplexed. And I was actually contemplating whether I should just kind of let it go and start again. But I felt I needed to push through it. So maybe it's, I'm not feeling it a certain way, but maybe it's something that I'm picking up that I'm supposed to give to you. So let's see how it goes. As always, half the time I don't know what I'm saying because it makes no sense to me. All right, so channel information first. The moment I connected with your energy, moon sign, rising sign, or sun sign, I was seeing that you were trying to reach for something, but it was too far. And that can obviously apply to a lot of situations in your life. But I felt what I was seeing was more connected to a goal. So if you are looking at trying to get to somewhere or get somewhere or reach for something or reach for that position, reach for that environment, reach for that relationship, reach for that goal, whatever that is, and it seems too far, maybe ask yourself, why do you want it in the first place? And as I'm saying this, I'm being made aware that whatever is going on at this point in your life has the ability or the potential for you to recognize a very significant pattern in your life. And I'm going to say a word here, and I hear the word lazy. That doesn't come out very often. So maybe my guide is being funny. I know he says, no, he's not. So apparently for those of you who are lazy, I don't know how that applies, but let me just continue on with what I'm seeing. I'm being shown a vision of fire dying down. So this has something to do with feeling diminished, feeling less than, or feeling not enough. And whatever the goal is that you're trying to reach that seems to be too far, perhaps it's something that you are trying to accomplish in order to fulfill your sense of self, your identity, something that's missing, some fundamental piece that you feel you don't have, whatever it is. And then as I'm talking about it, I'm having almost a panicky feeling and a pressure in my throat, and I hear the words, she found out, as if I found out what the secret was. So I don't know if this is going to make sense to many of you, but important time to make some serious decisions around the way you choose to work or the way you choose to express yourself, particularly with work. So the goal would have been work. The other thing that I was seeing is that the harder you tried, the higher the goal got. So every time you jump, it kept getting higher and higher, as if almost to say that it was getting, every single time you tried to get it, it's getting away from you. And then I hear the word relax, and then I heard the word competition. So very much feels like, for those of you who this is meant, there might be goals that you are trying to achieve, but the fundamental goal value isn't yours, it's somebody else's. So pertaining to career, if you're trying to reach a certain status and it's constantly getting away from you, maybe it's time to ask yourself the question, why is this so important to me? And again, I'm getting this in my throat. And you may decide that the reason why it's so important, it's not really because it's for you, you've been doing this so long, but it's actually somebody else's idea. Mother, father, teacher, uncle, parent, whoever, grandparent. And also, the harder you try, the higher it gets. If something is not working, and it's not working continually, trying the same thing isn't likely going to produce the same result. So there's a need here to acknowledge some sort of manner at how you approach things that are important to you. I hope this is making sense. And then I heard that whatever is keeping you stuck, you are going to use it to your advantage, and you're going to learn from it. So this is definitely situational for most of you. Whatever is keeping you stuck, you're going to use it to your advantage, learn from it. So if you are in a situation where you are stuck, or something is constantly being denied to you, or it's just something that doesn't seem to be coming to you, maybe ask yourself the question, why do I want it in the first place? And I have a feeling that once you fundamentally understand why you want that particular thing, situation, or a person, you might decide that you don't want it after all in this particular way. He's asking me to explain more. Let's say, example, very basic example, you want a certain car. I really want this Mercedes, and I'm just going to work my ass off because I want a Mercedes. I don't want nothing else. I want the Mercedes. And that's just a metaphor, right? And then you ask yourself the question, well, why is it that I want this particular car? Well, because I want it. Well, no, let's go deeper. Why do you want this particular car? And if you were to get real or honest with yourself, you'd realize that in this case, in this scenario, the reason why you want this Mercedes, because you feel that it will show you as someone who is valuable. In other words, you will identify yourself with something that's expensive, and your idea of you is going to be based on that. In other words, you're looking to value yourself through this Mercedes. Now, we know that never lasts, because you can never truly get something from outside of you that is meant to come from within. So that's something, it's an idea that was presented to me, so I'm giving it to you for the purpose of showing, metaphorically how it can apply. I hope you guys get this. So whatever you're going through in the month of June, learn from it, particularly if it's something you are stuck in. Now, I said, what is it that they need to focus on? The first card you have is Chop Wood. And this is a message where the goal you have been working on very hard is not coming to fruition. And the message here is, sometimes what you're working for so hard isn't available to you yet. Doesn't mean it's not going to come later, but rather than trying to obsess over when it's going to happen or find other ways of getting it, why don't you do things that will ground you? Do, metaphorically speaking, that will ground you. Do take care of other business. Do something I don't know, go play ball. In other words, distract yourself with things that are little and small in comparison, but that will ground you. In other words, do something to take your mind away from that goal. Because if you constantly or persistently thinking about it, obsessing about it, well, that's going to create a whole bunch of unnecessary feelings within you that you don't want. So I'm saying, okay, why is this so important? And another card of a message of focus is, this is called chaos and conflict. You might in the month of June be at crossroads with someone else. This can be a relationship, this can be a situation at work, a coworker, a friend. And the message of this card is, don't be so rush to want to make your point be known very quickly. Sometimes it's important not so much to be heard, but to hear from somebody. So I feel like this is saying, yes, you might have differences of opinions. You may be at crossroads with somebody or crosshairs with somebody, but it's also important to understand their reasons why they are, at a different page than you or at different crossroads. So I feel like this is kind of giving you a little bit of an alarm bell, saying don't be so hasty or don't be so quick to jump into any illusions, any ideas before you hear the other person. The next focus card, you have Unfinished Symphony, and so Unfinished Symphony, and it's in protection position. What this is saying to me here is that in June, you might notice some things come up, and it's quite possible that this situation is as a result of you not having dealt with some past hurt or some hurts from the past. In other words, some pain, some discomfort, some situation that made you feel uncomfortable and pain, whatever it is still casting shadow on your life. So what the message here is remember what happened, but don't drag it forward with you. And that's a pretty significant message, basically, about letting go of the past. But if you are at crossroads with somebody and you're at crosshairs, and things come up and you notice that there's some triggers from the past that are being triggered, it's really important to hear both sides of the story. My guide is saying they want to know why. Well, for the purpose of greater understanding, number one. But number two, also, it's important to be true to yourself, but also allow another person to be true to you as well, which sometimes two people will have two different truths and they may not coincide, and that has to be okay. So I feel like what I'm saying is don't get into a rift with somebody unnecessarily. That's what I want to get. So then I said, okay, 3 cards with animal totems, and right away you got the frog. So frog is all about emotional, spiritual, and mental healing. Emotional, let's put it that way, psychological healing. Let's say emotional healing. And the card of, let me just get this. Unfinished Symphony is basically the same thing. So this is coming up, and this is almost coming up as a validation or confirmation that yes, in fact, it's time to let things go. You also have the fox, and when I asked for this card, I specifically asked what energy they need to embody. So fox is very sly. Now, I'm not asking you to be sly, because that's not what I mean. But fox is fox energy is extremely good in business. It's a very loyal friend. It is often a leader, a teacher, and loyalty is a huge one. So with the fox energy, it's also a very strong partner. Could be in partnership in business or in relationship. But the message of this card is to reconnect to those you love. And so if you have disconnected from loved ones, or if you have disconnected emotionally from them for whatever reason, there's a message here of reconnecting those you love, because the fox energy doesn't do well when it veers off too far from the crowd, or not the crowd, too far from their pack. So there's a message here of needing to be around people that you love. Very, very important. Then I said, what is it that they need to avoid? Very interesting. You've got the elk. So elk is the father, so you might be a father or a father figure. But because this is what you need to avoid, elk can become very headstrong. So the message here is, and it's interesting because you're being guided to be more with people you love, but it's also, you're being also warned not to be headstrong, particularly if you're at crossroads or crosshairs with somebody else. So that this is the big message from this card is what I get. I also see that there is some unfinished business between you and somebody else. Usually goes back to childhood, but it could be later than that. There is a feeling of an anxiety about this, resentment. What's the fear? What is it rooted in? Lack of personal safety. Oh, interesting. That's very interesting. So for those of you who have felt long time ago lack of personal safety as a kid, whatever that means to you, you may have become very headstrong because that's one way to protect or ensure things will go a certain way. So the message here is don't be too strong-headed, and watch out for any outbursts of anger, particularly if you get triggered. So that's for the month of June. Now I said show me 3 cards, and then I got confused and I said give me more information. So you've got the Page of Cups and you have Knight of Cups, and I'm kind of looking at these cards and I'm going, I don't get it. Like, this is like, I'm cut off from this information. I said, what is this regarding? And you have 9 of Pentacles. So for me, this is about stability. This is about stability at work. Yes, obviously it can be a relationship. The Page of Cups to me signifies that there is a possible brand new beginning. It could be with a person that is younger than you, emotionally not very mature, or just a brand new beginning to a very young, it could be like a young love. This could also be a creative project. So there's many of you are on a verge of embarking on something new here. The Knight of Cups is the knight in shining armor, so that would be male. I feel confidence. This is what I'm getting with this card. I'm getting confidence, ability to speak clearly and confidently. Very interesting, particularly with what we talked about earlier. They're saying this person needs to express themselves more. So I feel that this Knight of Cups is you. This is how I'm perceiving it. And you need to be able to speak clearer. Perhaps some of you will be getting into a brand new situation with another person. And one of the things that you're learning is how to speak clear, how to speak from more point of feeling confident. But there's stability here, that whatever this new thing is, yeah, it could be anything. It could be a creative project, also a personal relationship is what I'm feeling as well. So that's what I'm getting with this card. There's some stability with whatever is coming new to you. Then you have the 3 of Coins, and then you got the Tower. So I totally got confused. I tell you guys, for whatever reason, your energy is kind of interesting. So I said, okay, what is this regarding? So the 3 of Coins to me signifies collaboration. It's working on your craft. It's expanding your craft. It's working with other people. This here to me is about expansion. And I said, what is it regarding? You got the Lovers. So right off the bat, this is about some expanding, expansion of your relationship. Obviously, this is also expansion of you, but more than anything, I feel this is going to be expansion around something that is really important to you. It could be your business, it could be your partner in business, obviously it could be a lover, somebody that you really click with. Interesting way of putting that. And there seems to be I feel financial stability again with this. This is also being on the same page with somebody else. And maybe that's the friendship, or maybe that's the collaboration, or the new business, creative business or business endeavor that this is talking about. But there's 2 people being on the same page, and there is harmony with whatever this union is for you. Like I said, could be relationship or work. It makes no difference. But then you got the Tower. And with the Tower, I asked for clarification. I got the Judgment. And To me, Judgment is about conclusion. And what I felt when I saw these two cards, I thought, okay, something has not been fundamentally working for them, or something has been fundamentally flawed in their lifetime. And what I feel is that you are coming to a point of completion where that is going to be soon behind you. This can be a series of circumstances that have happened to you over a period of time. This could be lack of certain way of expressing yourself artistically. This could be lack of abundance coming in. This could be also, fundamentally speaking, something within you that you are choosing to resolve. Now remember, one of the things that we talked about earlier is that whatever has been keeping you stuck, you're going to use it to your advantage and you're going to learn from it. So I feel that this is going to be most likely with relationships and parting the old ways. Parting things that no longer serve you in a physical form, but also parting from aspects of you that no longer serve you. So a lot of psychological component, but I always say, if we want to change the life outside of ourselves, we first have to shift the inside. And you guys know that I talk about this all the time. The numbers around you are 3 and 5. So 3 is about expansion. Well, you've got the 3 here, 3 of Pentacles, right? I also hear resolution of a difficult situation, financially speaking, for some of you, okay? It's gonna transpire either in the month of June or May, June, somewhere there, okay? So that's gonna be for very few of you. 3 is about expansion. We like that. Expansion always signifies changes because you have the number 5. So altogether it comes to the number 8. So I feel like there's a lot of potential stability coming to you in the near future, financially speaking, for a lot of you. Also expanding mind projects. What does that mean, mind projects? Ideas. Okay, many of you will be expanding on your ideas for either a creative program, creative project, some sort of a solution you're working on, how to design your garden, whatever it is. I feel that you will be getting you'll be expanding on your ideas. And then I see lots of books. So there is searching for resources, looking up information on Google or on books, looking for knowledge, educating yourself. And this is not necessarily traditional education. And then I'm seeing the number 2, but I'm actually seeing it as number 11, which is judgment, which is harmony, which is also stability and fairness. So looks like things are about to equalize for many of you. Particularly for those of you who come from quote-unquote harsh history. Those are the words that are being asked of me to say. And I almost want to say, and then we're done. So it looks like many of you are just on the brink of letting some things go. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing. This one made no sense to me whatsoever. So the other ones flew, but this one is kind of interesting. But maybe I'm actually picking up on your guys' energy. Of course, if this doesn't make sense to you right now, listen to it at the end of the month for private session. That information is below. Thank you again so much. I appreciate you more than you will ever know. Have yourself a wonderful month of June, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.